mute.
Okay.
They turned it on or he broke it?
You're on.
All right. This is the GDG Mercer University group. We used to be Mercer University Google Technology Group. Now we're the Google Developers Group. And what we do is we go through Google technologies and look at them from a developer's perspective and try to do cool stuff and make stuff.
So, I guess we've only got one new person here? Oh yeah, two new people, good. Well, we'll work on recruiting, but the app scripting is not really introductory, I think. We'll see. Okay. So, at the current moment, we're meeting every week, Tuesdays, here, 4:30. Now, are the meetings supposed to go from 4:30 to 5:30 or 4:30 to 6?
When do you want the meetings to go?
Does anybody have conflicts between 5:30 and 6 o'clock? Okay. So we'll tentatively plan for 5:30 to 6. I know me and James have classes.
Yeah, my microcontrollers lab technically was from 3 to 6, but it's like if I'm done early, we'll let me out early, so I'll finally be done.
All right. So we do have kind of a schedule. James Michael has a couple things that we already have queued up. I think next week we may be doing an IO review.
We'll be ready by Tuesday. Sure.
Okay. I can help you with that. I watched the entire thing.
Did you? Good.
And then the week after?
I don't think we have anything planned for the week after, but future events include DART.
Yeah, I'd like 2 weeks to do DART.
2 weeks to do DART.
Okay. Well, I would like to do a little bit of basic just phone apps again. Make sure that everybody's.
Travis had his KML, which is used by Google Earth for doing markers and such. So we should look into doing that if possible.
And another part of this club is that we kind of want you guys to participate too. So if you guys see something like, I don't know, like Google Apps or
Fusion
Business or
tables.
something like that. Yeah, fusion tables, or if you want to develop a Google Plus, like
Events.
Plus games, yeah.
How to use events to promote something.
Now we.
And if I may speak as the old lady, you know, the last student organizer of this group went on and is now working in industry, and he gave a presentation to the local GDG there. And his boss was in the audience, and his boss just sat in awe of how good he was at presenting because of all the practice he had here. So this is a friendly place to screw up horrendously badly, which he's done once or twice. But to get used to talking to people.
So, look, I mean, there's a good place to go. There's a lot of stuff on this page. I suggest you go through it. You're welcome to go to any of this stuff. There's good development stuff we could go over in any of these places, or a bunch of other. Yeah, developers that Google is a nice place to go. They've got tutorials. If you are interested in, say, developing for Google Plus, they have tutorials on any of these things. So you could just walk the group through a tutorial to make sure you would have the tutorial ready and you could answer questions and things like that. So we need to recruit a couple more. I'll do an Android app. Perhaps I'll schedule that for this week.
one up too, so.
I know.
You're gonna have to figure
Well, I
this out.
set up a third one before I found either of the other ones.
I think mine may need to be the official one until we
Because
can
it's hooked
update.
up to the directory.
Yeah.
So I need to get admin on that and I'll.
Yes, and I
I'll
will,
update everything.
absolutely.
So we do have some stuff. We have sites, Google, GDG Macon, which is not accurate at the moment. For GDG Mercer University, we kind of have a name glitch. Yeah. So we might be changing this to GDG Mercer. Would that be okay?
But then again, I would have to go and change the, and.
Well, actually, that one, the directory is hooked to one that says Bugtown.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, we've got a couple different, we might want to just update the directory.
And for those of you who are new, the international Google users group changed over last week. So we're all still. And when I went to post this on the official page to say, yes, we're having meetings, I had to go to the GTUD site. I had to add it to our GTUD's page, not our GDG page, so. Yeah.
I've got a question. What does it matter if it's GDG Mercer University or GDG Macon?
Well, one would imply that it's open to all of Macon, and one would imply that it's Mercer, but I don't know if we do.
We certainly can be open to all of it,
Yeah.
even with Mercer University. But especially with meeting at 4:30, I think that we exclude a lot of the business community.
Which is unfortunate.
And traditionally, we have not met the same night as the .NET users group.
I don't know.
They meet one Tuesday every other month. So I'll get you the list of their next meeting, see if I can find it. Let me Google that.
And they meet in this room
Yeah,
most of the time.
but they're at 7 o'clock now, so we would no longer be a conflict.
Okay. So we also have Google Plus page. We should look it up, and we'll probably condense that down to one Google Plus page very soon.
Hopefully very soon.
But get some ideas for these. If you like it sparks anything, feel free to maybe do another Google App scripting one if you want. But
Yes. This would be a good topic to do multiple on.
Well, wait, Michael, were you invited to the event?
I think you
Yes.
Because that was you logged in. That's your Google login, right?
Yes.
Can you go back? Can you go to your Google Plus page? Or are you scared to?
I don't think he has a Google Plus.
I will get one. I have to get one now.
It doesn't take but a click, does it?
Well, I had one,
Oh, there's a story here.
but I got
They
it.
didn't like the privacy thing that came up or whatever.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just.
made your email address.
I was just thinking you should go to the event, just a show event, and you'll see that we already have pictures posted there. So how does he get to the event if he's doesn't have a G plus?
Nathan can do that. Very carefully.
Now, you will notice that these gentlemen are logged in incognito mode for the most part. You know incognito?
I saw Michael's name up there.
Well, but
Not-
it had an incognito.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
He is weird.
I'm,
Okay, you're two-step verified, so.
I am
oh, okay, you're good.
Well, I do that too.
Yeah, me too.
I tried to
My
set
phone doesn't ring in
alarm.
here.
Yeah.
So,
I have all in.
but do you have Authenticator on a tablet or phone or something?
No.
Oh,
Ooh. There's an app.
there's an app for that.
There's always an app.
Okay. What you got? Google Plus. Add me on Google Plus.
Yeah, I haven't added you.
I think you did.
Oh, good.
Alright, so here's our Google Developers Group meeting. So you got a nice pull down right there. Look at that. And looks like we've been posting pictures.
So there's discussion down at the
Then you could
bottom.
also have comments, and it could be a way to document a discussion in your meetings.
Yeah. So maybe we could say log into your Google Pluses here, and if you've got questions during the thing, you can post it on here.
We do have multiple ones.
And Michael could watch it on the screen.
Yeah, there you go.
So, okay. So without further ado, Michael's got a very long presentation. So hopefully we can get some good.
We'll do more of it next week.
So, Google Apps scripting is a very powerful It's a very powerful framework on which you can build applications. It's not meant for really big applications. It's meant for small, light, web-based applications. Because it's going to be run on Google servers for the most part. And it integrates basically all of Google's products, their documents, their Google Drive, your Gmail account. You can do a ton of different stuff with it. The documents integration is pretty simple. There's a document object. It comes with a set of pre-created Google user objects. So if you go to your Google Documents page, you can actually create a new script. It will let you actually create there are a set of tutorials which you can go through. And it will allow you to create some stuff from a template. Scripts are somewhat unfortunately in JavaScript, but it's not meant for large products, so that's all right. Then it's pretty cool. The API integration. So this is just a few of the things that you can do with the products. You've got Google Analytics, you've got the BigQuery API. AdSense management, predictions, and tasks. I didn't really have much of a chance to look into these very much and how much it goes into them, but that's just a sense of the scope of this. And the Google Apps scripting IDE, it's pretty powerful for what I would compared to what I would expect from a web-based IDE. It does code completion, it lets you use multiple files, but it doesn't have all of the features that Google Docs has made me want, like allowing multiple users to simultaneously edit a file. It has a debugger. The debugger is not as good as I am used to when I'm developing on a local machine, but it's pretty good because it lets you set breakpoints, add watches, other things that debuggers normally do. Yes, doesn't give you the stack trace, and it can't run on the web apps yet, as far as I've seen. The user interface development, it's an HTML style user interface. I've gotten some basic stuff to work in it, but nothing advanced yet. It's complicated because it uses there are two different types of event handlers which you have to look into. Because it's run on the server for the most part. So there's also client-based event handlers. So you have to know which ones to use where. I'll go over that here. The client event handlers, from what I can tell, are meant for directly working with the user interface, whereas the server side is meant to do the actual work. Yes, there is more popcorn.
Yay!
I just second
No idea.
Yeah. It has, of course, it has
I have to
persistent.
get my authenticator, not the popcorn. The popcorn is there.
Google Apps, one of the things that we're used to when we're developing is persistent data, and Google Apps will provide that. It has multiple ways of storing data. You can use their script DB, which it lets you store JavaScript objects, which is interesting. I think it would be very powerful. And it also allows you to access external databases so long as they are web visible. So, but it doesn't support all of them. These are the listed databases on their support list, but it doesn't, like Postgres is not on the list, unfortunately. Version control, something that I like a lot when I'm developing stuff is version control, because then I can fix changes that I made or make it distributed. It's not nearly as powerful as most version control software is. It doesn't let you create. It lets you create versions, but it doesn't let you compare versions. All that you get is a list of different files. It won't display it quite like that. It will display the function that changed or the object that changed, but it doesn't make it explicit what changed, which is somewhat annoying. But it will save your differences every couple of minutes, and it will. So I think that might need some work. And you can also deploy your web apps. There are multiple ways of deploying those web apps. You can publish it to the gallery, or you can deploy it as a web app itself, and you can release it on the web store. If you deploy it as a web app, it requires the official version number. That also applies for the Google Web Store, and it's still in beta, and you need to do Git function. Deploying it on the gallery is the simplest method of publishing it. Anyone can access the code and integrate it in their own projects. And they can use the code on their own. Deploying it as a web app, I already covered this, but it also allows you to add user interfaces and the HTML service, which the gallery doesn't really let you do. You have to deploy it as a web app as well if you want to test your user interface and such. And so the Chrome Web Store, this is still in beta. It requires you to be able to verify that you're the owner of the web app. Like, you need a web page to verify it that's externally accessible. tag to it, so it's kind of complicated. And there's a one-time developer registration fee of $5, and it's the best option if you want to have a chance at being a millionaire. Okay. Are there any intermediate questions before we go and talk about how you actually program some stuff?
You done your $5?
Yes.
And that's one time, not for each app.
No, it's one time.
Do you have to pay that before you upload it, or before you start developing?
You have to pay before you upload.
How does that compare to developing for Apple?
I have no idea.
I wasn't going to ask that question. I was being polite.
Oh, it's $100, right?
A year.
Oh, a year.
And the paperwork is phenomenal.
Oh, wow. Makes sense. So, yeah, they really are working to get you to want to develop for them. So, let's see. Now, we've got some simple web apps that I've made. The first web app that I made, obviously you've got the do-git function, and I created a user interface, so you use one of the global objects that Google provides you with to create the application, and then you can use the application to create event handlers, which are on the server, and it's in JavaScript, so you can tell it the function name like that. One of the, yes?
Could you share it with me and make it public so I can put it on the data?
Yes.
So everybody can access it?
Well, let's see. Change. I'm just going to paste it in this. Is that okay? No problem. So, what I wanted to do was to allow the user to actually choose a list of documents that they wanted to have the program modify. And when it did that, when you chose the list, it would add a smiley to the top of the web document because I wanted something really simple. So if you try to run it from here, it won't really do anything. So you have to publish it as a web app, or deploy it as a web app. And it took me 17 versions to get to this point. One of the problems I ran into is that the documentation on certain things is sparse, to say the least. Like the event handler parameters, I spent a long time looking for that. So if you deploy it as a web app, then you can update it if you've already got it, and it will let you test your latest code. So if it runs the code in your browser, and I told it to create this display box, which would let you choose a list of documents which could be edited. So if I choose those two documents, edit them, or update them. So if I look at it, there's the smiley. Yes. I wanted to go deeper into this, so I thought, what could I do with databases? So I thought, web statistics on word counts. So I two things I implemented: the user interface. I was having trouble finding enough documentation on how to actually create the user interface, unfortunately. But the idea was that you could use it's all JavaScript, so everything there will apply here as well. So I created a list and it will add an item to the list. And then I was going to add that to the JavaScript database, which would allow me to keep persistent statistics of the word counts. So let's actually create a new script. So we want to create a script as a web app. We'll create a script. Is there any suggestions on what we would like to do? If we can, this script just creates a basic user interface. So it runs that.
So you get that straight out of the box?
Yeah, this is the template for a default web app.
How do you
You map
right
it.
out of the thing? I guess you have to make a version.
Yeah, you can create a version by going to manage versions. Okay. So, and then you save the new version, and then you can publish it and deploy it as a web app. And then test it, and it will give you the button to click. Okay. I'm kind of out of stuff to say for now. I was not expecting to do that.
How do you get to this point?
Okay.
How do you create a new, oh, well done, okay.
Yes.
I mean, I assume you had to like sit down and read through a lot of documentation
Yes.
to get to like, you know, because these, I'm assuming they're all, you know, from the Google database of like functions, event handlers and so on.
It took me a while.
Yeah. And I mean, it's just kind of, because I've never done anything with it. I have a friend, with his job, he had to do a lot of like VBA stuff, like with Excel, because he went through that a lot. It's kind of like you can do that with JavaScript here at the Google Docs.
Yes, you can do that plus a lot more.
Yeah.
So Google Apps scripting really, in my opinion, really makes the Google Docs a much more viable competition with VBA and with Microsoft Office because it gives you the scripting capability.
How is you can't embed anything into like you couldn't make your own like user interface for your docs that way. I guess you could add buttons and
Yeah, you could sort of. I'm not certain how you would actually open files in Google. You could create a user interface for interacting with a document. I don't think that it would be as good as theirs.
Is there something you suggest we look at, or do we all need to get Google developer accounts before?
No, you don't need Google developers. I walked through their first tutorial. It creates, what it does is it creates an email for you. And it will email yourself. And it will send you a URL to a document which it created. So that's about all it does. It does not need to be deployed as a web app to be run. It doesn't have a user interface. So,
Do you have to send an email from you?
it requires your permission to send the email address. So yeah, I'm pretty sure you need to be here. So
Looks like your only option is what email address to send it to, not to send it from.
That's a good idea, isn't it?
yes.
We're not gonna let you just spoof, so to speak.
Yeah.
There may be ways of getting other user objects instead of just getting the active user. I haven't seen anything like that.
So, where can we use this? I'm sorry, I snuck out to get authenticated.
You can use it.
What do you see if this group were to write a script? What would we want to write scripts for?
Go back to that list of all the things you can integrate.
Yes. It integrates. These are just a few of the products that it can integrate with.
I can see the tasks API documents working together.
What's big? Sure.
BigQuery is Google's product for massive amounts of data, and you want to do searches on it, and you want to find information from it.
Wolfram Alpha or something? Is the
More
information?
like you have a database of like scientific stuff you've been doing, and you need to do a certain processing on it. So you upload it all today to Google, and Google runs enormous parallel processing on it, and it gets done really quick.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so they run on their side?
Yeah,
But it's on data you
that's
upload.
something they were showing in Ohio.
It's on, sorry, it's on data that users have uploaded to them, basically.
It's your data.
Okay, gotcha.
But they process it on their side?
Yeah, they're aiming for businesses that
They do some.
they don't. It's free for small or anything small amounts of data.
I think they're a lot cheaper than
They're, I don't know about the data per se, but they're certainly aiming at Amazon Web Services.
Yes.
And there's, I'm not going to give you my price. Backup price that just came out from Amazon. 1 cent a gigabyte a month is sports stuff. Pretty good price.
Yeah, that is.
So if you're not backing your stuff up, why not? So is this something, we can think of ways to use this, I think.
Yes.
definitely.
And I do know that some businesses use it. They do advertise some businesses that use it.
Calendar. Is calendar on that list? Or should it be?
It probably should.
It is.
Yeah. They have too many products to list in one page.
An interesting question.
No, it's true. If they get a court order and
Yeah.
it's being housed in the United States, like servers are in the U.S., then they are obligated by law to reveal the data.
So you should live your life so that they don't create court orders for your documents.
I prefer very flashbacks.
There are a lot of tutorials on it.
Yes. Is there anyone that we want
Creating a tournament bracket.
to bracket?
Yeah, that's what we call it. A lot of
Tutorial page.
articles. Abstract articles.
Because we don't want to leave our footprint on public issues. Is that why you're in incognito?
Yes.
Yes.
It is my username, but that's just me.
Yeah, close. And you can drag it over.
Yeah, you can't go from non-incognito to incognito. Unless you physically copy the link there and copy it into a new tab in incognito.
Well, it's already.
Like is it really?
15 minutes.
Oh, no, I mean, I don't think we need to do it now. I'm just thinking maybe at some point this semester, somebody here would say, hey, I could probably present a 15-minute tutorial.
Oh, I thought this was an hour and a half.
An hour. Discuss that already. Or we could have two people who say, yeah, I could do a 15-minute with you. And then with all of us working through it, the teacher in me tells you anything you think will take 5 minutes takes a little longer.
But also, if we can make some stuff that you can embed in a web page, we can put it up on our site as well. So under like this meeting, we made this little app. So, or I mean, we could do a broad thing that manages the web page somehow. So, yeah.
The first spreadsheets tutorial is what we should do first.
Right down there. You're right.
Of course, it's in-
The
That's the
spread.
wrong tutorial, but that's okay.
From what I've seen of the spreadsheets, it's pretty cool because you can actually create new functions for the spreadsheet to use and then call them.
No. Okay. This is kind of new.
She was like that. I would say
Of course, James.
Wish we were visible.
Yeah, I know. I've got a complaint for Google.
No.
What? No, when I was in DC, I was talking with some people with NASA, and they were looking for developers to help them with some of their software stuff, and no one there had ever heard of I/O, even though it happened a week later. Yeah.
Well, government people.
No, but the guy was having a meeting with Google in 4 days, and he had never heard of it.
I think it gets enough press. I mean, do you want it to sell out in 12 seconds?
No, but I was like, you know, you guys are NASA, you should set up a booth. and say, here's the software and stuff, and you would get people.
It's government either way.
No, but they were trying to make it all open source stuff, so they wouldn't have to pay for it.
They have lawyers. Okay, so many of us have spoken. Speak. What would you like to see as a result of this scripting or Google in general?
I'm not sure. I mean, I could see how it uses. I know I could see how it uses when we do it on the very especially the like APIs where they'll set this on where like you could search for a portion like something like a feature of how to do it if they had it like that.
We can talk about Apple patents.
That's Samsung. No, Google did come out with a statement 2 days ago regarding Samsung and Android stuff in response to the patent thing in California. So that is relevant.
I was thinking, with Drive, I was thinking maybe a script that pulls out, when people share a document or whatever with you, I hate always having to go, oh yeah, it's underneath the shareable thing. Maybe there's a way for me to write something up, pull all that into your, okay, it's just a personal pet peeve maybe that
You need to make your own folders and drag it.
No, yeah, I already have that. I'm talking about like when people share something with you, it doesn't pop up on the home screen. You have to go into the share. I'm a little lazy, right? Yeah. So I'd rather just maybe throw a script that pops that up.
I would expect that you could do something.
So for meetings, we could have a meeting where all we did is walk through, tutorials and helped each other. And it would help if somebody went through them first. Because when we did the Android tutorials, we had a little bit of a problem in the lab setup. None of them would work if you didn't have a magic keystroke.
Also, I don't think my brother has an account here yet because he hasn't had a class in here. Is that right?
The way the accounts get set up in here is when you're on a class roll.
You log in with top 2 on here.
Okay.
Or Lab 100 or Lab 300
Whatever.
or Lab 204.
Yeah. It'll help me as well.
I bet Roshi can take care of it.
I should.
Well, we can talk to Michael.
Yeah, but I'd rather not. I'd rather talk to him.
That's what I mean. You could talk to Michael and take it and get it created.
I think I still have an admin account.
Oh, so we wouldn't have to talk to Michael.
No. I'd just run the time. Roll it down. I was adding 2 people.
You don't get a picture?
No, I'm just doing the party group.
It's a shame nobody uses Google Plus.
It is.
A lot of people
I use Google Plus.
do use.
I actually just went through my Google Plus feed. It's all amazing. And Levi, they're the only 2 people I've seen on there.
Have you seen Levi's omelets?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I have. And those were the only 2 people that used that on my feed. I like it better than Facebook. It's just that nobody else.
There's a lot of photographers out there, and we have to start doing right there. Oh, Facebook is doing their darndest.
Yeah, I mean,
Every
a
new
month
privacy
after,
violation they have.
in their stock flotation, that was
And then timelines.
Oh.
no.
Yeah.
Fortunately, Chrome has an app for that.
Google.
Some other thing you should have. It's Chrome extensions. Yep. We could do the next GDG on making Google Plus better.
Google Plus development.
Yeah.
You could do games for Google Plus.
You could. We could.
Keep the farms and all that stuff out.
Well, actually, they are on Google Plus, but they are kept someplace different.
Okay.
So that your game feed and your real person feed can be separate.
Oh, thank you. I approve of that message.
Back a few years ago, when I got every single Farmville update for like 100 people.
And that's something that Circle really values.
Facebook tried that.
So at some point, we need to include you on Google Plus. Bring smartphones next week.
And tablets. He also has a Nexus 7.
Wait until
I wish I had an Nexus.
It's
How much are they?
200.
Oh yeah, that's not cheap.
That's like a tablet. It's relatively
Well, I have
cheap.
like 300 in the bank, so yeah. I'm not gonna get a job. Yeah.
So we could also do tablet development stuff.
Yes, and tablet development is, you know, it's the same basic idea.
We can make sure that apps work across.
And there's some new, I don't know if you saw the new Eclipse add-ins that are coming.
Oh.
Eclipse add-ins.
Yeah, to the Android SDK for Eclipse is going, you know, where you can say, I want it to run on this tablet and this thing, and show me in all of them.
Oh yeah, I did see
Yeah.
that.
I want it to work in these languages. So,
You should do that again.
I can do that.
Like tablet development,
I can
Android tablet development a lot different than Android phone development.
It used to be, but I think Ice Cream Sandwich brought it together. But I mean, you can still, should probably still design something different for a TV than for a tablet than for a phone.
Oh, I thought
Ice cream sandwich.
I mean, well, it should reformat.
I thought ice cream sandwich was basically about the same age as Google tablet stuff, and that jelly thing. But it's doing stuff now.
What I vaguely remember from when we went up to the Google offices in Atlanta, that presentation was given. I vaguely remember saying something kind of things like you could develop it. I mean, it's the same development, but you need to think about the hardware concerns, basically. What you're developing for Google TV or something.
And I can bring Google TV in there. My husband is in the habit of buying them.
How many do you have?
Actually, I really bought one, but Google said it's another. I'm gonna get another one.
Are you looking to maybe get rid of one?
He doesn't get rid of things, but if I tell him I'm going to use it for this.
Are you looking to have one disappear and have some money in your pocket?
Have we chatted about this?
No.
Okay, well, this is at least better than ethics. You have to be a lawyer, and it's not a good thing.
Oh, so I guess you have a Nexus Q then, right?
Yes.
Oh,
You want me to bring the cube? We can play with the cube.
Yeah, yes. I'd like to see that.
And
Yeah.
then,
I've tried to use the cube though. We'll see if we can set it up in this lab. Because the problem is, it's fine on our home network. That's great. We took it to the GDG meeting site, and their network had something configured a little different for not allowing
Yeah.
access to the Nexus cube. So it was a nice round thing. But I will bring the cube.
Okay.
I can have it.
Oh, yes, it does. It has a ring around it that will close.
So I can still get it.
Can you do development on the key?
Yes, you can develop it.
Okay, good. I can
That's
see
script.
live stuff.
Yeah, and I don't,
Already over that.
cube,
There's no water.
cube, Nexus cube.
a Q, one letter.
They have stopped selling them. In fact, they gave them away to everybody who ordered them early.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I'll
Nexus 7 took off. Everybody was crazy about how quickly their Nexus 7 was.
yes, you
I'm
recognize
waiting for
me.
them to be in the store. Technically.
Oh, you picked one up?
No, I want to go, but no.
Oh, they are in the stores. They're in the stores before they.
Every time I check out or check them, they're always sold out. So.
Well, if you just go to Google, are we talking the 7 or the Q?
The 7.
Go to google.com right now.
Yeah. Well, I guess I could do that.
Yeah.
You know.
You'll get used to it.
There was a Google place where we were.
Yeah.
Hey, look, it's even ad.
So
bad though.
If they're having trouble, well, something that they're not saying enough of is they make it in the US.
yeah.
You know,
So the first product that Google makes themselves.
they make it themselves and they didn't outsource it to a shop in China. Oh my gosh, what am I saying about them for that?
And that's why it's relatively expensive.
Yeah.
So, because they acquired Motorola, did they make it through that, or?
I'm sure they helped, probably, but no idea. I mean, it uses the same. It uses the same hardware as a Galaxy Nexus, I think, or something. It's something
Yeah.
like that. But it's very cool. I guess you haven't heard about how it works, right? So basically, you've got the Nexus Q there. It's got a volume. The top half of the sphere is a volume control, and it's got an amplifier. Yeah, I guess you can play. Oh, this is an unboxing.
We don't okay, I'll take your.
Right. So a lot of these new phones have NFC in them, so near field communication. And so I can take my tablet and bump it against James' Galaxy Nexus, and we can beam.
feel like I've seen that like the stupid little Samsung commercial that you just touch it together. Transfer data.
So you have a party at your house. You've got a whole bunch of people over, and they all want to play their own music. So you've got the Nexus Q set up, and it's got an amplifier in it and everything. So you put it in onboard amplifier, so you can hook it up to whatever speakers and whatever you want. So people with their NFC phones will come up to it, bump it, and then they get access to put whatever they want on it. So there's a queue of music going on, and everybody at the party can see the queue of music, add their songs to the end of it, and reorganize the queue of music however they want. So they can say, oh, I want to play this song right now. I don't care that there's 15 people queued up. It's too important.
But
They don't care if anyone else does. So, but it's very cool. And they will synchronize with other queues in your house and stuff like that. So it also will hook up to a TV. So it'll show a visualization, or you could. I'm sure that you can run. You can. Oh yeah, you can play YouTube videos from the phone to it. So
So it's just for streaming media?
but you can develop for it. So you can do. You could do whatever you want.
But as is, it's just an org.
No, I thought you could use it for file sharing.
You can use it for
I mean,
all
you can
sorts.
do whatever you want. You just have to find an app for it. Yeah. Or make one.
that's what you guys know what we do.
Bring up the Nexus Q. It's got all sorts of it's got all sorts of buttons. Wait. They don't have a video on it, right? Go to the second. Yeah, that works.
Oh, I turned the sound off in class today.
I don't